We're sure you're excited to discover the 10 deadliest viruses ever recorded across history. Keep on watching and hit the like and subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and let's get started. Viruses might be invisible to the naked eye, but would you believe if we say that viruses on Earth alone are 100 million times more than the number of stars in our universe? These tiny creatures are microscopic parasites that can thrive outside the host's body for a varying period of time. Unlike parasites, viruses are little pathogens targeting a host's cells rather than its parts, organs, or tissues. It might look harmless at first sight, but viruses can infect all types of life forms. According to the United States Centers for Disease Control, up to 650,000 deaths are recorded annually for seasonal influenza alone. In this video, we will tell you the world's top 10 viruses that have the greatest number of deaths across history. Watch until the end and discover for yourself which virus killed over 500 million people since 1157 BC. Coming in at number 10 is Japanese encephalitis. Killing over 20,400 people, this virus attacked Japan and scared a lot of families in 1871. The Japanese encephalitis is a mosquito-borne flavivirus that is highly similar with dengue, yellow fever, and West Nile viruses. Over 300 billion people were at risk of this endemic, affecting over 24 countries in the World Health Organization, Southeast Asia, and Western Pacific region. If you want to know the signs and symptoms of having Japanese encephalitis, you can look on the rapid onset of high fever, headache, neck stiffness, disorientation, seizures, and spastic paralysis. Suit yourself up for the 9th spot. You might be familiar with this virus and we're sure you've heard of it. Dengue recorded over 22,000 deaths upon its discovery. This virus is a mosquito-borne viral infection that can infect you even 4 times in a lifetime. It was recognized in the countries of Philippines and Thailand in the 1950s. Additionally, dengue has been the leading cause of death to some Asian and Latin American countries, recording an annual 100 to 400 million infections across the globe. Symptoms vary depending on its severity. For mild dengue, you can expect severe headache, pain behind the eyes, muscle and joint pains, nausea, vomiting, swollen glands, and rash. Meanwhile, those who have severe dengue, symptoms include abdominal pain, persistent vomiting, rapid breathing, bleeding gums, fatigueness, and some blood upon vomiting. At number 8, hantavirus hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome. This virus killed over 47,000 people across history and is widely spread in China, Russia, and Korea. This hantavirus can be traced in the 1950s when some 3,000 United Nations troopmen were stationed in Korea. They were struck by an infectious disease allegedly carried by rodents. You can get this virus if you're exposed to aerosolized urine, droppings, or saliva of rodents. Once infected, expect intense headaches, back and abdominal pain, fever, nausea, chills, and blurred vision. Next up, hepatitis C. In 1989, a Californian biotechnology company called Chiron discovered hepatitis C. You might be shocked, but this virus killed over 400,000 people since it existed in the world. The virus often spread through contaminated medical supplies such as syringes and needles. Other than that, hepatitis C can also come from birth, sharing personal hygiene items, sexual intercourse, and piercing or tattoo. The health dangers that come along this deadly virus are toxin buildup in the brain, yellow skin and eyes, hair loss, dry skin, poor nails, sleep disorders, poor bowel movements, and more. Moving on to our sixth deadliest virus. Rotavirus has killed more than 500,000 people since 1973. Ruth Bishop detected rotavirus in water sources such as private wells contaminated with feces from infected humans. This virus spreads easily as it enters sewage overflows, systems, and polluted stormwater runoff. In 2013, 37% of children's deaths came from rotavirus, while 215,000 deaths were recorded already. Once infected, you might want to look for symptoms like decreased urination, dry mouth and throat, dizziness, crying with few to no tears, and unusual sleepiness or fussiness. Don't mistake it for being a sleepyhead though. Hepatitis B bags the fifth spot for our list. With 887,000 mortalities, the hepatitis B virus was discovered by Dr. Baruch Blumberg in 1965. It was originally called Australia antigen as it was named after an Australian Aborigines blood sample. This blood reacted with antibody in the serum that led to the development of its vaccine. As of 2016, over 27 million people are living with hepatitis B as it prevails in the Western Pacific region and African region. Transmission is done through blood transfusion, sexual intercourse, and even through birth. The symptoms of having hepatitis B include yellow eyes and skin, dark urine, extreme fatigue, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and liver failure. We're getting closer to the deadliest virus of all time. Just keep on watching! Coming in at number 10. Measles are highly contagious illnesses that replicate inside the nose and throat of an infected body. This one can spread through sneezing, talking, contaminating materials, or coughing. Although Ferus and colleagues in 2010 mentioned that the divergence time occurred between the 11th and 12th century, the first account of measles started in the 1600s across America. Annually, over 30 million people get infected with measles, while an average of 197,000 people die from developing countries. As of this date, 2.6 million people have already died because of the virus. People infected with measles may notice symptoms such as high fever, runny nose, watery eyes, tiny white spots, and skin rashes. Garnering the third spot is human immunodeficiency virus or HIV. Killing more than 36 million people, HIV weakens your immune system by attacking cells that fight infections inside your body. As a result, your body becomes vulnerable to multiple infections and disease. While HIV and AIDS are often interchanged, AIDS is considered as the final phase or the late stage of HIV. CD4 cells, are commonly known as white blood cells, fall below 200, which is extremely low compared to a normal 500 to 1,600 count. Symptoms for HIV include rapid weight loss, recurring fever, unexplained tiredness, swelling of lymph glands, pneumonia, oral, anal, or genital sores, and more. Make way for our second deadliest virus. Influenza or flu has killed more than 15 million people globally. In 1918, an influenza pandemic started through H1N1 virus with genes of avian origin. This highly contagious viral infection mainly affects the respiratory system that causes yearly outbreaks, killing hundreds of thousands around the world. It is transmitted through airborne coughs or sneezes and contaminates surfaces. Symptoms include runny nose, coughing, sneezing, vomiting, diarrhea, and nausea that can result in pneumonia, bronchitis, sinus, and ear infections. And for the most dangerous of them all, smallpox ranks the top spot for the deadliest virus across history. Killing 500 million people worldwide, smallpox is an acute contagious disease that can be traced during the early days of humankind. Although the final outbreak was dated in 1949 and was fully eradicated in 1980, It was more than 3,000 years ago when this disease spread in India and Egypt. The earliest evidence for the disease can be found in the Egyptian remains of the pharaoh Ramses V, who died in 1157 BC, where pockmarks were seen on his skin. The disease continued to spread across Asia, Africa, Europe, and America in the 1500s. The Aztec Empire, today Mexican civilization, almost disappeared when smallpox killed over 3 million people among their country. Once infected, you'll probably experience fever, discomfort, headache, severe back pain, fatigue, vomiting, and body rash and scabs. What a scary list, but definitely an interesting video. Watch more and learn further. For more videos like this, check out our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.